You've been crying where no one knows that you've learned to weep in solitude, you have comforted yourself. When no one noticed your pain except heaven noticed, and every tear you thought it did not disappear, rather, it landed. It planted and watered something sacred for each. Each tear had a purpose, and every ache had meaning. God has been gathering each drop. Nothing you lost was wasted, not even time. Neither the energy nor the affection you gave, even the times you regret where the heartbreak did not end you. Prepared you, the quiet did not break. It formed you, you did not fall apart. You came into position with miraculous timing. Into heavenly design even when you couldn't see it, God was arranging everything. You kept showing up. When you felt empty, you continued to trust. When everything seemed dry, and suddenly the dry season is finished, Archangel Michael has stepped forward, and he is not just delivering protection, this time he delivers harvest. Your spirit has felt it coming. Something is different, you don't hurt. You don't shake as you did previously. The darkness feels less heavy because you have been mending, even in silence. Through pain, you've been healing, and now something is blooming. You can't always name it, but you feel it's something. Holy is extending towards the surface. The ground has been broken, and what is rising is holy. You are entering into a miracle that has been growing underneath pain you didn't even realize was growing. Because it was deeply buried and covered in grief, surrounded by chaos, but heaven God understood that the seed was still living. Protected it while you were busy. Survive, he concealed it while you were I'm learning to breathe again. Getting through this is more than just breakthrough, is birthing a release. Imagine a miracle that looks nothing like the anguish that planted it. You thought we were losing, but you were sowing. I thought it was over, but it was just initially. You assumed the tears were infirmity, but they were water and bliss. Never squander water, God collects it. He blesses and multiplies it, Archangel Michael has been defending your field. Your spiritual footing, so nobody could steal what was supposed to grow, regardless, no matter how dark it became. Your harvest was never. It's time to stop being abandoned. Being teased means you're trusted. God trusts you with this promise because you demonstrated faithful with nothing. Acclaimed with an empty heart you kept. Walking with tired legs, you believed. When there was nothing more to hold, that's why this moment is yours. You did not fake your faith, you lived it. You did not perform healing, you battled. You did not skip the process. I walked every mile, and paradise noticed. Now heaven listens to Michael's. His wings have stirred, and he is carrying scrolls with your name on it. Instructions, releases, access, answers. They are no longer delayed. You have breached the boundary. Rain is approaching. However, it will not cause flooding. Fruit overflow is not survival abundance. You sobbed throughout the planting. Now you shall dance through the blossom, which is approaching. Suddenly, gently, almost like a whisper, the spirit becomes loud and visible. Undeniable, and even you will be shocked. Because you become accustomed to nothing changing. However, everything is about to change. Name is being spoken in places where you haven't arrived yet, your presence is blessings were solicited. Held up the angel on duty. Released the covering, now the miracle will find you, and you will not have to chase it. You will not have to beg for it, it knows where you are because God never loses. He kept track of you and never forgot his commitment. He only waited for the appropriate opportunity to disclose it, and that moment is now. This sacred transformation is happening right now. You are entering the heavenly hour. Answered prayers, not repeated blessings. Not leftovers. But what was custom-made for your soul, what was said about you before you were born, what pain attempted to bury, but could not kill since it was God. Breathed, and whatever God breathes never dies. You might have felt buried, but now you will realize you were planted, and now it's time to flower the suffering you've been through. It wasn't wasted, nor was it neglected. Every silent night was not in vain. Each unfulfilled prayer was, every lonely moment was counted. You never suffered in vain, you may not. I saw effects at the time, but heaven was working. You believed nothing was growing, yet the roots were deep. The foundation was being strengthened. The earth was being prepared, and God never forget what he placed in you. I didn't observe any progress yet because best things flourish in the dark, concealed. Protected, slow but steady. Archangel Michael was standing guard. He watched over the seed and defended you. Spirit, he prevented the enemies from uprooting your progress even when they were discouraged. Even when you wanted to give up heaven. I did not stop believing in you, you thought. You were breaking but also becoming. You felt your heart was too vulnerable. But God was making it deeper and stronger. Broader so it may carry pleasure, not fleeting joy, but real and lasting sacred joy that is unshaken by situation, joy that isn't diminished by delays or on the rise right now. You have entered the season of reversal. The season of reaping, where was withheld is being released, where what was broken and is being rebuilt, where what was dry is beginning to rain. God is changing the atmosphere around you. Your miracle responds because your spirit is finally united. You are not pleading anymore, you're expecting it. I no longer doubt that you are preparing. You are not wondering if you are worthy. You are aware of who you are. Lived through what attempted to take you out. You outlasted the silence that you outgrew. You overcome the spiritual assaults and heaven saw everything there. You were tested for a reason. Something enormous was coming, and now it is here. Michael is no longer just watching. He's moving and shoving distractions out of your road, bringing promises into your reach, rearranging things to your favor. Heaven does not require permission to bless. However, it required your readiness, and now you are ready to receive. Step in, prepared to walk forward without drag the past behind you. You have been trimmed and purified. Empty so that God can fill you, not merely enough to get by but completely pressed down. Overflowing, you were not overlooked. Were reserved for a better moment. Because your life was not supposed to be, you were not meant to be average. Background. You were born to be a living testimony is now emerging, and God is transforming your sadness into movement, transforming what injured you into something that heals others. You are not the same person you were before. Waiting, you've changed and grown, you've matured in ways that pain could never measure. This is why the promise will not shatter you. That's why you won't lose it. Arrives because you are not chasing. Now you're aligning, and aligning invites what belongs, not what drains. Not what deceives you, but what mirrors heaven's hand. It's time to raise. You've had enough of crying. You have carried grief long enough. Joy is reaching for you now. Blessings are knocking now that the rain is falling, and the flowers are flowering. Archangel Michael is clearing the route. He's ensuring that nothing gets in the way. Yours, he is eliminating spiritual interference, he is releasing the signal. And the miraculous has heard it, it is coming. Faster than intended. Softer than you thought, yet irrefutable. You will recognize it when it arrives. Since it's loud, but since your spirit will exhale, tranquility will affirm. What words cannot your entire being will convey? This is what I was made for. It will not feel forced. Feel artificial, it will feel like harvest. Something sprouting when everything is told. It would not be necessary for you to do so. Prove you deserve it, and you'll just get it. It with open hands and an open heart. Complete trust, because this time it is not going to fade away. This time it was built to last. You didn't come this far just to almost get there. You're strolling into the whole promise, into full healing, into full ecstasy. You've SWN in tears. You will reap in joy because you have been patient. You have cried for longer than anyone knows. Without witnesses, you have believed. Without applause, heaven took note. Archangel Michael has stood over the spot where your potential grows. He did not worry, but with surety. He knows it's coming, he knows the moment, and he knows how much it cost you to get here. Every night, you almost gave up. You murmured, God, I can't take it much more. And yet you remained you. You remained, hoping not because I felt strong, but because of something your spirit refused to let go of. Something was magnificent, it was your miracle. Growing in quiet, it did not bloom yet. It wasn't ready because you were not ready. God wasn't punishing you for the delay. I was preserving what was still taking. Some miracles require time, not because they are feeble, yet because of their depth. And what is deep cannot be hastened. You did not miss it, you did not fail. You're on time, and so is your harvest. Hasn't passed you by, it's approaching with purpose and clarity. With healing in its hands. Archangel Michael has prepared the space for it, ensuring your miracle arrives uncorrupted and unscathed. Because this time nothing will stop it. No sabotage, delay, or uncertainty. I've already walked through too much to lose. What's next? You've earned the rest. You have earned this joy, not via perfection but through endurance, trust via obedience. When it didn't make sense, when it ached, when it was lonely, you still believed. That is why it is your turn. Heaven blesses those who achieve perfection. Surrender, and you have surrendered over. Over time, you've given go of control. Relinquished bitterness, you've forgiven those who did not apologize and made the room that generated space is now a blessing, has somewhere to land now, the miracle has space to bloom. God did not forget you. He was saving the greatest part until last. Was creating something no one could take from you, which is why He allowed the others leave, which is why He sealed the old doors. They couldn't handle what was to come. I couldn't stay for the blossom. Chosen can, and you're going to find out why. The separation was protection. Michael did not merely fight off attacks. Altered your way, he barred individuals. He looked good but carried poison. Robbed you of possibilities that your soul has been drained, which is why I didn't fit in, which is why things clicked, not because you were behind, because your garden was concealed. Now it is being unveiled, as is your light. Is no longer overshadowed by the past. Gifts are no longer hidden in fear. You've been granted permission to bloom. Nothing can undo what heaven gave yes to. You won't have to force anything. What is yours, it will recognize you. Arrive with peace, it will arrive with delight. Will feel like sunlight after years of rain is how you'll know it won't make you feel little, and it won't drain. Spirit will not leave you bewildered. It will match your recovery and meet you in your stage of development, because you did not only wait, you developed and matured. You deepened, which is why you can hold. What's coming is why it won't crush. You will be strengthened and lifted. It will corroborate all God has ever said. Whispered even the parts you forgot. Even the dreams you stopped praying for. God did not forget, and Michael did not forget. The angels have been tracking each word. Every tear, every prayer. And now, their prayers stand that you're not about to start afresh. You are about to step into what has been reserved, prepared, maintained specifically. You will not have to chase it. You will attract it because your spirit is finally ready, but not perfectly ready. Michael is ready, and heaven responds. Clear your space even now, making sure no residue from the past follows you. You don't need to bring humiliation into your new. You do not have to explain what season didn't work. What's coming is greater. It will speak for itself. For you loudly and plainly in public. This blossom will not be hidden. God wants the world to witness what grace can do. Obedience can produce what surrender can. This is why it took so long to unlock. The testimony needed to be full. Now it is, and now it starts. You've carried silence with grace. Watched others get ahead while you stood still and questioned, has heaven forgotten me? But the reality is, heaven was preparing. Now is your moment. Unfolding slow at first, but it's real, it's your miracle is definitely in motion, and the first sign is peace, that unshakable quiet in your spirit, stillness that does not make sense. Feeling that something beautiful is coming even when nothing else has changed, but that is spiritual confirmation. Isn't only a good, it feels like a communication from God speaking, and Archangel Michael as messenger isn't just showing up, he's delivering something long awaited, something begged for in tears. Something only paradise could contain until you were ready. And you are not the same person who started. This adventure makes you more aware, present, more spiritually grounded. That is why you'll see the miracle when it shows. You are not going to second guess it, sabotage it, and you'll adore it because it will feel just at home, like light after years of darkness, like new breath after holding your calm for so long. And those who questioned your bloom, they'll see it happen, not because you want to prove anything, but because God always completes what He starts in your life. Will speak louder than their viewpoint. Ever done your glow will answer what? Their silence couldn't be what you needed. You will see effects from your revenge because harvest silences all critics. Michael has protected your harvest, ensured no one could touch what belongs to you, but he obstructed what I didn't even know it was sent against you. I cleared the path while you grieved. Misunderstanding, the way is now ready. Your name is being yelled out by heaven, by destiny, divine appointment. You are no longer hiding for protection. You are being disclosed on purpose. You're not going to come back the same. Returning with a deeper understanding, more wisdom, more peace, not because you forced healing, but you trusted God with the process of trust, producing fruit, joy and restoration, favor. Opportunities with your name already exist, written on them. This following season won't. Begging will be required. Receiving it will require respite. Need you to trust the ease of answered prayer. You are not being lazy. You're being guided, and when heaven guides there is no force, simply flow. That's how you'll know it's God. No pressure. You will begin to see serenity rather than panic. Signs, doors that were previously closed will swing open. Folks you didn't expect to support the rooms you felt undeserving of. You will be invited in since you entered. The time has come that you don't need a platform. God uses pain to prepare. You did not need an audience to grow. You grew in seclusion, and the fruit will be made public, not for attention but for witness, so that others can see the grace. Can build so that others can believe again. You are living proof of broken things. Can bloom while Michael is still walking. With you defending your garden. Becoming nothing will uproot whatever God has proven. That individuals should not be afraid. Delay. This bloom has been sealed by heaven. You will observe the discourse. The energy surrounding you shifts. Because your frequency is changing. You are not speaking from survival. You are no longer speaking from a place of healing. People will feel it and be drawn to it. Some won't comprehend it, but they will respect it, since your presence will carry the weight of obedience you paid for. Peace comes at a cost, as evidenced by your stance, your words, and silence is what grace looks like. When it blossoms, not loudly but undeniably, not forced, but powerful. Michael is making sure that nothing interferes. He stands between you and anything that smells like sabotage. He is deflecting folks who weren't meant to enter your next season. Do not lament. What goes away makes room. Do not cling on. Let go of whatever is preventing you from feeling happy. You don't need to explain why you changed. Simply stroll into the dressing room and let the fruit speak and let the glow testify. You're not seeking to be picked anymore. You realized you were already there. Heaven by God by destiny, and now your steps are orderly, and your path is obvious. Your hands are now free to receive you. You are no longer sowing in grief, reaping delight, and heaven is partying with you, because what you lost was never the ending of your story, was the you've been waiting for the beginning of your flowering. I've been waiting for anything to change, and now it has the burden lifted. The environment surrounding you is different. People can feel it even if they don't. Know why you're not merely shining. Growing in ways only heaven could orchestrate. This is what restoration looks like. Do not rush at roots, and now you're standing on what you prayed for yourself. You don't need to force it. Chase it. Your miracle found you, because it was always meant for you. Nothing was lost. Can halt what God reserved. Nothing. Delays can undo what heaven has achieved. This moment isn't random, it's right on. Michael has been clearing the air, making space for breakthrough, removal, distractions. Before the blessing appeared, you believed it was rejection. It was realignment. You thought people would leave because of your vulnerability. They left due to your assignment, and assignment is blooming. It's not simply a season, is a confirmation of what you pain was always carrying you. Approaching joy. You didn't suffer for nothing. You were sowing in secret, in tears. Hope, and now the land is full of rain. The sun is shining, and I'm standing in answered prayer. And this is just the beginning. You are not at the end. You are at the start of the road. Overflow. This bloom is not the finish line. Indication of what is possible. God didn't merely wish to rescue you. I wanted to reward you, so that's what your name is being honored in places where it was previously disrespected. The same lips that spoke against you. Because no one can disregard the bloom. It's too real, totally too gorgeous, and you are wearing it. Not as a costume, as your confirmation. This is what happens when you don't provide. When you go by faith, even with shaky legs. When you trust, even when your heart is breaking. Heaven never forgets that type of trust. Michael does not abandon fighters. Like you struggled through quiet and kept believing when no one cheered for you. This is why the reward is so personal. That's why the blessing feels customized. Because nobody else could wear it. What God just put in your hands, no one else could carry it as you can now. You have been prepared by fire, and now you'll be known for fruit you don't owe. An explanation, You owe yourself tranquility. You owe your future obedience. Keep walking keeps blooming, Michael is still near, still defending the new you. Keeping the path open while cutting off anything that tries to drag you back. Don't dwell in the past anymore. You've moved spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And your miracle moved beside you. Tears built this, faith nourished it. God blessed it. Now, your name is tied to something. Beautiful, not pain, purpose, not fear. This is proof of favor, not nothingness. What does it mean to be viewed by heaven? Trusted, to be protected and blessed. Beyond what your story predicted, you will not return to as it was when you came too far. You've grown too much. What is ahead is too valuable. The ancient doors are. The new ones are open, and you have permission to enter. To enjoy. This is your land today. Michael is stationed at the border. Nothing unclean can enter, nor can old pain grow here. This is sacred soil. This is your healing ground. The blossoming season and its scent, the impact will be felt far and wide. More than a breakthrough, it is a revival. What you thought died in you is breathing again. What felt buried, it was never dead. It was planted and is now in heaven. Is exposing what it has been growing, not just within of you. You have. This is a permanent alteration. This is not a high moment, but a holy. You walk differently today. Your stance is stable, and your faith is firmly established. Your soul remembers what it cost. And you will never take tranquility for granted. Again, God did not only restore you, He enhanced. You are now speaking from a healing perspective. Stand from totality, now you bloom. Identity, not performance. You are not who pain tries to make you who you are. Heaven says you are entirely free, finally. This is your confirmation of the bloom. It's real, and it's not going away. I need to continually checking to see if it's God planted it, thus it is still there. Michael protected it, and you've entered. Divine security is what you carry. What you release is guarded and blessed. Words now hold weight because they have been purified through fire. Your love now carries healing because it was born in heartbreak. You are not striving to be seen. You have already disclosed yourself. You were not seeking to be picked anymore. You were picked before they saw you. You are not seeking to be loved anymore. Already loved, but that love has altered. You can rest now, not because you gave up, but since you've arrived at a position of clarity. A location. Peace is a place of overflow. This is what you waited for. You are not what your prayers produced. No longer are you in survival mode. Michael stands at the sacred blossom. He smiles at the end of your commitment. You made it because you stopped believing because you trusted God, even when you couldn't find Him. Now, everything heaven said is coming true. Life slowly and openly, you don't owe. The old season, nothing more, no more explanation, no more tears. More apologies. You've moved, you're planted now in joy. your soul understands how to stay. You will not undermine your blessing. You will no longer walk in fear, as you have been schooled in trust. This is your new normal. Peace that contains joy, that multiplies love, that roots purpose, that yields fruit. Everything that you lost is being restored. But now that you're prepared, because you are ready, heaven is also ready. Archangel Michael will not stop here. I was appointed to walk you into the future. Path is apparent, and the gates are open, and you are chosen. This is yours. Miracle is blooming, and the world we are about to see it. Stay soft. Surrendered, stay steady, heaven has you. You are in good hands. You are safe. Are rising, and you are loved beyond. Measure this minute in your morning. Changes into delight. This is where you bloom. Begins, it is here, and it is yours.